Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Dengue danger. Hundreds of Tyres removed from premises in Manchester. Rank and file police officers remain restive over outstanding allowances. And later in sports, defending champions suffer second straight loss in Jamaica Premier League. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shamela Pullen. Here are the details. A Mandeville resident could be facing charges for putting his neighbors at risk. At a time when the country is facing a dengue outbreak, the man was found hoarding hundreds of old mosquito-infested tires on his premises.
While conducting routine inspection of residential premises in the Greenvale area, the vector control team of the Manchester Health Department encountered a resident who had over 1,000 tires on his compound. These tires were uncovered and were actively breeding Aedes aegypti mosquitoes.
This area we were alerted by the Ministry of Health because we always do collaborations with them, and they call us because of what is happening here today. If you look in the background, we have already moved 3 truckloads of tires. Over 700 tires we have already moved. And based on the assessment, we are seeing where we have another 4 or 5 truckloads at this premises here in Scottstown. We have the passers-by, the neighbors have been coming by and thanking us for removing all these tires.
The tires were at the back of the premises with water settled in each of them.
Look, the main concern is that we ourselves and Ministry of Health have been working together in a collaboration with regards to the dengue mitigation. And I have been around the back, and the amount of mosquitoes that are there, when I came, my head was all filled with mosquitoes. So working with Ministry of Health, we are trying to make Scottstown an area where people can live and live healthily.
This comes as the country is still experiencing a dengue outbreak. The owner was served a statutory notice under the public health nuisance regulations.
We have our dump sites, and you can come to our offices if you have old tires to get rid of. You can come to our offices, purchase tickets, and you're free to go on any one of our disposal sites to get rid of these tires. Don't have them hoarding at the back of your houses. And not only tires, we're talking old cars, stoves, anything that can collect water. We're asking you, right? And if you're unable to remove it yourself, give us a call at our office.
Carrie Ann Simpson for TVJ News.
Traffic changes are coming to the major towns in St. Anne. That's according to Mayor of St. Anne's Bay, Sidney Stewart. He provided details of the changes at the recent Municipal Corporation's monthly meeting. Here's Carrie Ann Simpson.
Effective Monday, December 18 through Wednesday, January 3, motorists and vendors in Ocho St. Anne are urged to prepare for traffic changes ahead of the festive season.
There will be no entry from Pablo to onto the main street Ocho Rios. No vending will be allowed on Newlyn Street and DaCosta Drive. All vendors should vend along Market Street until Wednesday, January 3, and the market environment notice will be posted.
There won't be any traffic changes for St. Anne's Bay. However, Chairman of the St. Anne Municipal Corporation, Sidney Stewart, noted slight adjustments for Brownstown.
No parking will be allowed on Main Street and the top road. This area will be used for pedestrians. Alright, so you're not going to be allowing any parking, either from vendors or from shoppers along Main Street in Brownstown.
But some residents have taken issue with the adjustments. They say the alternative routes urgently need attention.
Right where I'm standing right there at Musgrave Square, you can look behind me, you see there is I don't know if it's a pothole or a viaduct there behind me. That's a hazard, total hazard. As you can see, a grill there, it fall in, several vehicles fall inside of it. Trucks, car, bicycle, everything fall inside of it. I don't see no one come there and take any step to remedy the situation.
In response, Mr. Stewart says remedial work will be done over the next few days. Herman Green, TVJ News.
Thank you, Herman. In the meantime, Mr. Stewart is warning vendors to abide by the stipulated time frame for vending during the festive season. This is to avoid prosecution.
Take note that all persons caught vending on the street after January 3 will be prosecuted under the Agriculture produced act. The St. Ann Parish Council is the Market Act and National Solid Waste and Town Planning, Town and Country Act. Now we are going to be merging all of these acts that will give us permission to allow us to prosecute any person who will be bending along the roadway after we lift the opportunity we gave them between the 18th of December down to January 3rd.
Members of the Police Officers Association POA remain restive over the proposed increase in their on-call allowances. Chairman of the POA, Senior Superintendent Wayne Cameron, is calling on the Finance Ministry to take a look at the proposal. SSP Cameron was speaking on Power 106 Morning Agenda Monday. Government has put on the table a 15% increase in call-out allowances, but members of the Police Officers Association, POA, want a 40% increase. POA Chairman, Senior Superintendent Wayne Cameron says the association is yet to get a response from the Ministry of Finance on their proposal.
The year is coming to a close. We should have done this quite a while back, as mentioned before. And when you examine the officer's salary package, the on-call allowance, which has been significantly eroded, now stands at an average of about 8.5% of basic salary. Then it is really within our right to push to get this resolved. When we had the September meeting, we impressed upon the ministry staff the need to have a speedy resolution to this part of the discussion. And they agreed in principle, but that's where it stops.
SSP Cameron says the last meeting with the ministry took place on October 3. Additionally, SSP Cameron says there are other outstanding issues that need resolved.
Our relocation grant, our furniture allowance, our furniture maintenance allowance, other types of allowance, such as technical allowance, instructor's allowance, driving allowance, I could continue. These allowances are still to be discussed, still to be finalized, and some of them the ministry has indicated will be restructured. Restructured into what we don't know yet. We're still awaiting those. The long and the short of it is that they all come together to form a part of the officer's salary package, and we need to have the discussion.
He says police officers have been going above and beyond the call of duty.
The police officer's job is a unique one. Paid for a 40-hour work week, but his job takes him beyond that ever so often. Officers out there will be out there sometimes upward of 18 hours when they are in the zones, the SOEs, geographical commander in the space. Depending on what is unfolding in his division, sometimes he doesn't get home at all. So the long and short of it is that it is not an 8 to 4 job or an 8 to 5 job. It is a job that is going to take you right around the clock.
Some 19 communities in St. James will now have a constant water supply with the commissioning of a 400,000-gallon tank in Somerton in the parish. The $149 million investment is part of the NWC Waterworks project. Minister responsible for water, Matthew Samuda, explained that this is part of a larger water project for the parish.
We're doing the engineering and sections that we hadn't even discussed as the next phase. We intend to include Minister Bartlett. So we're not going to break it up into too many pieces. The capital works of the National Water Commission were in the range of $4.5 billion of investment last year, over the last 12 months. We are projecting investment of over 7 billion Jamaican dollars over the next 12 months.
Communities that will receive potable water include Dumfries, Kent and Irwin Heights. East Central St. James MP Edmund Bartlett noted that another supply system is to be commissioned soon.
Barrytown, and that one is 99% finished, and that's the next commissioning. And that will be 1.5 million gallons. So with 1.5 million over in the north and 400,000 gallons here, we pretty much have just a little shy of 2 million gallons of water that would be distributed to cover the constituency needs of East Central St. James.
Feel glad about it. I'm proud about it. That everywhere can get water. I mean, enough total water. Because the people that was suffering about the water, with the water.
What we say to you, we hope this gives you the confidence to understand that when we do commit to spending the next phase as a part of the $869 million, we hope this gives the confidence because they see this, to know that it is coming, to know that every couple of months we will have an updated report and every couple of months the situation will ease.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. The St. Catherine Police is sending a strong warning to persons attending the popular holiday stage show Sting. The show will be held in Portmore this year. O'Shane Masters reports.
We are on top of it. That assurance from the St. Catherine South Police as the much-anticipated Sting returns to its home base at Jam World in Portmore. The show, which is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year, will see the return of some mega giants in reggae and dancehall, including Bounty Killer. And with such acts comes a large fan base. It has led to concerns about the traffic gridlock in the area. That has been an issue in recent times with a number of large entertainment events. But promoter of the event, Isaiah Leng, and the police say plans are in place to address that.
Ensure that when the show is finished, people can leave easily. All of those things have been thought about carefully, so we don't have a problem.
We have already some plans for traffic management that we will communicate in a very timely way so that patrons will understand how things will unfold. And we, based on what I'm seeing on the plan, things looking good so far.
These events also end up with fights. The police say measures have also been put in place to limit that. Head of the St. Catherine South Police, SSP Christopher Phillips, didn't give details as to what will be done. However, he gave this warning.
For persons who are coming with ulterior motives, just be careful, because the police will take a zero-tolerance approach to that kind of attitude and behavior at this event.
The men were speaking with our news team following a walkthrough of the venue recently. O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
It's time for the Business Minute.
The Bank of Jamaica says its Financial Policy Committee, FPC, has approved 10 cyber resilience principles for local financial institutions to pay keen attention to. The committee approved the principles at the December 6 meeting. These principles include viewing cybersecurity as not just an IT issue, but also understanding the legal basis of the issues and implementing security by design. The BOJ says by applying these principles, regulated entities in the Jamaican financial sector are expected to enhance board oversight of cyber risks and strengthen preparedness against cyber threats to facilitate rapid recovery from cyber incidents. It also expected to promote cyber information and threat information sharing across the financial sector, involving both public and private stakeholders. Further afield, Abu Dhabi is set to buy a stake in a key Turkish port. Under the potential agreement, state-controlled group AD Ports Group would invest in an entity to be established by the Turkey Wealth Fund to run the Aegean coast port of Izmir. The size of a stake was not immediately clear, but it's estimated that the deal could be valued at about $500 million. The planned transaction comes as Turkey's government seeks foreign investment to accelerate its U-turn away from years of unorthodox economic policies that had sent inflation soaring and the currency plunging. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm O'Shane Masters.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, several United States legislators are calling for the Biden administration to withdraw United States support for an armed foreign intervention in Haiti as the CARICOM country gets ready to observe its 220th anniversary of independence on January 1 next year. Congresswoman Yvette D. Clark and Diana Presley joined 4 other legislators in also urging Washington to encourage negotiations for a Haitian-led democratic political transition. The United Nations recently approved a U.S.-drafted resolution supporting a Kenyan-led multinational security support in Haiti after Prime Minister Ariel Henry urged support to bring about peace and security in his homeland following the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse in 2021. on the international scene. At least 110 people have been killed and dozens more injured following Israeli attacks in northern Gaza over the past 24 hours. U.S. Defense Secretary Lord Austin arrived in Tel Aviv on Monday, where he is expected to push Israeli officials to define milestones for war with Hamas. President Joe Biden has warned Israel it is losing support due to its bombardment of Gaza. And flash floods have inundated parts of northern Queensland, Australia, with the heavy rain thwarting attempts to evacuate a settlement hit by rising water. Extreme weather driven by a tropical cyclone has dumped a year's worth of rain on some areas. Authorities have called off the evacuation of 300 residents in a rural town due to adverse conditions. No deaths or missing people have so far been reported. And those are the top regional and international stories. I'm Carrie Ann Simpson.
We head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report with Jordan Fort.